My name is Pearl and I'm reporting for WTN News. And at this exact spot right here 2 years ago, Johnny Depp left the Fairfax City Courthouse like the badass motherfucker he is. But how did we even get here? Well, in 2012, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were in a relationship. It was very rocky. Then, fast forward to 2018, Amber Heard decides to write a piece for the Washington Post about her ex. But let's be real. We all know who she was talking about. They then go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, suing each other and suing British people. It all finally boils over in 2021 when Amber Heard decides to finally countersue Johnny Depp because let's be real, the only reason celebrity couples would sue each other is because of the money. That's me if this channel was actually successful. And apparently, Virginia is one of the 31 states that has anti-slap laws, whatever that means. But here's the thing what they don't tell you about this courthouse. Because if you turn out of this gate, walk up this hill, turn this corner, walk down the street, you reach downtown Fairfax. It is quite literally the busiest and loudest part of this area. Compared to the courthouse, it's basically the polar opposite. There's so many restaurants and bars here. There's a tattoo parlor over there, and the public library of Fairfax is literally right there. Something that Virginia is kind of known for is its libel tourism. It's basically where if a rocky relationship crumbles, a partner can sue another partner for damages and for reputation, which is exactly why Johnny Depp decides to sue Amber Heard here. And because the Washington Post apparently has their headquarters in Fairfax, this is me literally finding out when that case happened. But something I realized was no major news station came to downtown Fairfax and basically showed what this area was. And that's kind of disappointing, but also not really. Because the thing about Fairfax is it's not a nowhere state. Virginia is one of the original 13 colonies that came to America to basically start up the country. But besides our rich history, there's also a bunch of celebrities that's from Virginia. Like you have Sandra Bullock, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, Wanda Sykes, Jason Sudeikis, freaking Pharrell Williams, and that freaking Asian guy from 13 Reasons Why. But the thing about Fairfax is we are quite literally the suburbs of Washington, D.C. It's quite literally one of the most expensive places to live here, geographic-wise, because it's literally just a 20-minute drive to D.C. from here. So for Johnny Depp to come here, it's not strange, but it's also really strange, because it basically gave Fairfax its recognition, but it also didn't. So it's kind of strange. But there's also really fun things that happen in Fairfax. Like the annual Fall Festival that happens in downtown Fairfax every October. It quite literally takes over the entirety of Fairfax. Every 3 or 4 streets are taken over by people selling food, clothes, and basically every small business is here. It's quite literally one of the best events that happens in Fairfax that everybody knows about. I think the reason why I feel so connected to this festival is because I practically went to it every year since I was a kid. It brings the entire community together to celebrate October. There's a running joke in the DMV that it actually has 12 seasons instead of the normal 4. And when this particular festival would run, it would always be super windy, but this year it just felt perfect. Something I wanted to highlight from this festival was this drawing of a frog and fish I found. The guys at their tent told me it was one of their employees who drew their 2 pets together, and I think it perfectly captures the strange and weird. Psych! Johnny Depp chose Virginia because he knew our state flag is the only state flag in the country that has titties on it! Anti-slap laws. Strategic lawsuits against public participation, also known as slap suits or intimidation lawsuits, are lawsuits intended to censor, intimidate, and silence critics by burdening them with the cost of a legal defense until they abandon their criticism or opposition, whatever the fuck that means. To protect freedom of speech, some jurisdictions have passed anti-slap laws. These laws often function by allowing a defendant to file a motion to strike or dismiss on the grounds that the case involves protected speech on a matter of public concern. Again, whatever the fuck that means. The plaintiff then bears the burden of showing a probability that they will prevail. Plaintiffs fail to meet the burden, their claim is dismissed and the plaintiffs may be required to pay a penalty for bringing the case. In a typical slap, the plaintiff does not normally expect to win the lawsuit. The plaintiff's goals are accomplished if the defendant succumbs to fear, intimidation, mounting legal costs, or simple exhaustion and abandons the criticism. In some cases, repeated frivolous litigation against the defendant may raise the cost of directors and officers' liability insurance for that party interfering with an organization's ability to operate. A slap may also intimidate others. Whatever, you get the fucking idea.